Near mint condition, the home of collected editions. And check out that eye, that's exactly what we want to see. Woo, look at that panel, baby. And that, as they say, is that. The spooky releases for October continue. I'm the Uncanny Omar, this is Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions, and join me today for your advanced look at the Complete Harrow County Compendium from Dark Horse Comics. And welcome back, everybody. Now, before going any further, a big thank you to the folks at Dark Horse Comics for sending us an advance copy of this Complete Harrow County collection. This book is due out in the direct market and book market on October 28th or 29th, depending on where you get your books. And this is a softcover edition. That's what these compendiums are. It doesn't say, at least from what I can see anywhere on the actual book, that it is a compendium. Although it has been solicited as one, that's how you see it on Amazon, that's how you see it at retailer sites. But it doesn't say it anywhere on the book. So this is the Complete Harrow County. We have Cullen Bunn, Tyler Crook, taking, of course, the top billing with Carla Speed McNeil, Hannah Lavender, and Jen Manley Lee down there. Looking at the spine again, the Complete Harrow County, Cullen Bunn and Tyler Crook, the Dark Horse logo. And then the back of the book right here with some of our main characters and the praise for the book, not just from websites, but Kurt Busiek and Mike Mignola. And the retail price is $59.99. Now, the stuff that is in this particular compendium has been collected before, and that was released last year in the Complete Harrow County collection right here, which is the height of the library editions. And I've done an overview of this. I've done an overview of the library editions. I love Harrow County, but I did want to give you an idea of just how big this book is. This book has the dimensions, the page size of a trade paperback. So that's what this is. And then let me just show you how much bigger, because this is a library edition. It does have the exact same page count, though. This has 1,080 pages, as well as the Complete Harrow County. I'll do a comparison in a little bit, but first let's go ahead and open it up and talk about the type of stories found in here, in case you've never heard of Harrow County. And if you haven't, I guess I haven't been doing my job right. Okay, let's go ahead and get this opened. And believe it or not, they added some patterns here to the book. And then we have the Complete Harrow County, story by Cullen Bunn, art and lettering by Tyler Crook. And then we do have additional art by Carla Speed McNeil and Hannah Lavender and Jen Manley Lee. And then your covers are done by Tyler Crook. This cover right here, so damn creepy. Over on the left-hand side are your dedications. And we kick it off with the first issue. So this collects the entire Harrow County. So all of Harrow County issues 1 through 32 are included in here. And again, the book has 1,080 pages. Now, it doesn't have the Tales of Harrow County stories in here. And it doesn't have all the extras from the original library editions. But this is the exact same content that I'll be comparing it to with that big, oversized, Complete Harrow County. What is Harrow County about? Spoilers, I've done, I don't know how many times I've talked about this series. It's one of my all-time favorite horror stories. And I think if I were to redo my top 13 favorite horror comics, I will probably include this one. It's an amazing pitch. We meet this young character named Emmy that has been having these dreams lately because a long time ago in this county, and by the way, each chapter does start with Harrow County smoothly in the titles, like somewhere of the book, and I love when they do that. We do get a little bit of a flashback here, and it is of this witch named Hester Beck and how the villagers of Harrow County burnt her and she cursed them. And she's been having these dreams, or nightmares rather, from time to time. So she's the protagonist of the story. As it turns out that she could be the reincarnation of this witch, Hester Beck. And yes, that is definitely a homage to the Hester Prynne. But the character is a lot different. Like, she doesn't want to own that. Like, she doesn't want to be this monster. But she does live in this world where haints and supernatural are real. They're a big part of this world. So, in the first issue, or I guess let's talk about the first chapter, we get to see Emmy and her dad, and just what kind of characters they are. And then, of course, we get to meet some of the other cast, the important cast members of this particular series. And one of them is Bernice Anderson. Bernice is Emmy's best friend. She's the granddaughter of another character that will play an important part in here, and that is Rhea Anderson. And she lives in the black community of Mason's Hollow. And she is actually the big part of Tales from Harrow County, and plays a big, important part in this story. Now, there is a little bit of a twist with the character of Emmy, as you find out later on, but I don't want to give that away, because I want people to genuinely find out for themselves and enjoy this book for what it is. So all of this is, of course, painted by Tyler Crook, and creepily so. In the very first issue, at the end of the first issue, this is the Skinless Boy. This is a young boy who's a haint that basically is just skin. So where is his body? Oh, don't worry. We'll find his body later on. But this is a character that will become a big part of the world of Harrow County. And I think for a long time, the Skinless Boy, what's the Tattered Skin, that's what he's called. But he's a mute familiar. He was summoned from the nightmares of a child, and Emmy will end up just carrying his skin around, her satchel, and he ends up whispering secrets to her. And of course, the skin is wanted by the boy, like the actual boy. So the boy will come looking for the skin, and she will make friends with these haints. I think that's another reason why I love this book so much. It doesn't go in the way that I imagined it would go. So I love that idea. I love the idea of her just taking this creepy skin and putting it in a satchel. There's also other supernatural elements in here. There's supernatural monsters, like there's minotaurs. There's definitely ghosts. And then, of course, witches. Because a lot of these haints exist in the woods. And that's the kind of things that she's going to be facing through here. Fighting off against these supernatural creatures, and some of them will become friends, and others will become a big part of the story. I guess, the big antagonist of the story throughout Harrow County. And again, one of the biggest selling factors of this series are these beautiful, absolutely stunning watercolors that are just throughout the entirety of this book right here. See what I mean? They get really creative. And of course, the covers are intact right before the issues starts. There's a lot of backstory. There's a lot of twists and turns. You don't know who to trust. And it's just, to me, it's definitely one of those gothic, I guess like a southern gothic fairy tale. And it feels like that. And the way the characters talk and the way that this is drawn, they do feel like real people. And with these real people, you start caring about them, and you don't want them to get hurt. You don't want anything bad to happen to them. And so when bad things happen to them, it hits you, man. And like I mentioned, without spoiling anything, there are some twists and turns that I didn't see coming that completely took me by surprise. Now, this is the more affordable way of picking up Harrow County, because the complete collection, the hardcover, that one's $149, while this one is $59.99. Like a lot of these compendiums happen to be like at that price point. They're like $59.99, $69.99. And let's look at the extras, because that's all I will say about the actual stories. And then the back of the book. Let's talk about the tree. So there are extras here that we first found in the library editions. But as I mentioned, library editions have a little bit more, but those books are completely out of print. This is the introduction comics and series afterwards. And you'll get a bunch of the variant covers, the sketchbook for the different characters and the different paints, the layouts for the covers, and they'll break them down by the different library editions. So what you're really missing from here are just a couple of the extras that were included in the library editions, just a little bit more of the art, and then all of the Tales from Harrow County. But honestly, I kind of want them to just go back to Tales of Harrow County, and then these are the covers of the library editions. And just do more of those particular stories, because, oh my gosh, they are amazing. I freaking love them. By the way, when I said these are the covers to the library editions, you have the dust jacket, and then you have underneath the dust jacket as well. And then more titles from Tyler Crook and Cullen Bunn. So you do have all the extras that the Complete Harrow County had. Big difference, of course, is that this is a trade paperback. So you're looking at glued binding, and there is quite a bit. I mean, even if you look at the beginning, let's go here. There's quite a bit of double page spread, so you are going to get a little bit of gutter loss, and that's due to the type of binding that this has. So let's actually do a quick comparison. And I know it's an unfair comparison. We're not looking at the size. We're basically looking at the type of paper stock and the colors. Okay, so let's go ahead and open it up. We have end sheets, and we actually have those patterns over here. The Harrow County title page, and then of course Harrow County. And one of the things immediately that I notice, and I'm sure you will too, is the paper stock. This is really thick, glossy paper stock, while over here it is glossy, but it's not as thick. So how does it affect the art? Let's look at that. Because this has been released previously before in a series of Omnis, and Dark Horse Omnis are trade paperback editions. So kind of looking at the artwork here, it's a little, and I mean just a little bit more vibrant over here on the left-hand side, and that's due to the thickness of the paper stock. And over here, I mean, it's hard to spot a difference. Of course, it lays over better because this is sewn binding, and over here, it's glued binding. And not necessarily, that's not the case every time with sewn binding. Sometimes sewn binding with small eyes, they don't really lay better. But this kind of gives you an idea as to the art, just how much bigger it is, of course, compared to this, because this is standard size trade paperback trim size. And of course, all of the extras are intact. They're all in the back here, just like these. But I wanted to go ahead and compare, like, the way these extras look over here. Actually, I want to go to the covers. Yeah, let's get to the actual covers, because we're about to, yeah, right here. So again, sewn binding helping it lay down. And I don't have the Omnis anymore because I gave those away, but I do have the library edition, which is the same trim size as the Complete Harrow County hardcover. But what I want to do is compare this, because this actually has a thicker paper stock. Now, the introduction is not until the very end here in the Complete Collection Compendium and the hardcover. So this kicks off with this issue right here. So that's what I want to get to. I think it's issue 9 over here, and then over here. Yeah, so this has really thick, glossy paper stock. But honestly, the colors actually look a little better over here in the new edition. Could be because the scans have been cleaned up a little bit since these days. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just they look just a little bit better over here in the trade paperback edition. But that is it. That's what Harrow County is. It's about witches. It's about friendship, who to trust, who not to trust, and twists and turns everywhere. One of the greatest Southern Gothic fairy tales that has ever been put in comic book format. And beautifully done, by the way. That, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing this compendium, don't forget to check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content and page count and build of this compendium. In the comments down below, let me know if you've never read Harrow County. If this is the way you are going to read Harrow County, or if you have the library editions and you're just going to get this as a reader copy, or in case you want to let other people know the beauty of Harrow County, or I'm sorry, the eeriness of Harrow County. If you have any questions, leave them down. The eeriness of Harrow County. If you have any questions, leave those questions down below. Smash that like button. Check us out on Patreon and Spreadshop. Amazing ways to support the channel. Everyone stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.